Hello everybody, this is Skip Alzheimer. Welcome to the AV Geeks lunchtime streaming show. I wasn't sure if I was going to be here in time, so I set up another film kind of show just in case. And then I was trying to transfer those files over so I could show some of the files. And I gotta tell you, I ran into a lot of problems. I don't know why it was taking so long, but this has just been excruciating. Alright, well there's one. Okay, there's three. Okay, anyways, let's go ahead and... oh yeah, so my MRI went fine. I'll talk more about it. I don't know the details. I don't know the results of it, but it was my first time having an MRI, and I don't know. I think I have a funny story. But first, let's jump back in time and watch Children of the Wagon Train. Enjoy.
Sam, I'm scared. I'm just plain scared.
Now, Mary, there's good farmland to be had in the Oregon Territory, and there's the gold fields of California. Well, we got all
But
sorts...
Sam, it's 2,000 miles away. And there's been all this talk about Indians and disease and, well, who knows what else we'll find out there, Sam.
Now, Mary, there's a lot of other people in this wagon train. If they can make it, so can we.
Is this the box you wanted, Mother?
Yes, Jim, thank you.
Mommy, can I take Patches?
Well, yes, of course you can take Patches.
We wouldn't want to leave her behind, would we?
Well, that about does it. We're about ready for the trip.
Will we be leaving in the morning?
No, we have a meeting in the morning to elect the officers for the trip and set up rules for travel.
Think we'll see any Indians?
Hush, Jim, hush. We'll be frightening the little ones with that kind of talk. Here, you two, why don't you go get your playing done? We're going to have to get to bed early.
Roll your wagon. There.
From his first command to move out, the wagon master is boss over everyone in the wagon train. For many months, the people of the wagon train will live together, sharing hardships as well as fellowship. From the beginning of the trip, they agree to abide by a common set of strict laws, and they agree to follow almost without question the judgment of the wagon master, the man they have selected to lead them throughout the trip. Following the Oregon Trail, the train starts at Independence, Missouri, and proceeds west across the Great Plains to the rugged Rocky Mountains. The formidable Rockies must be crossed before the snows begin in early fall in order to reach the point where the trail divides. Here, some of the wagons will turn northwest to the farmlands of Oregon, and others southwest to the gold fields of California. These people accept the hardships of the 2,000-mile trip for different reasons. Some are hungry for gold, some for adventure. Some seek the rich, free farmlands of the Northwest. Some the freedom their religious beliefs demand. Typical of the wagon train families are the Daniels, late of Pennsylvania.
My name is Jim Daniels, and I'm 14 years old. My father is Sam Daniels. He brought us to Independence from Pennsylvania to join the wagon train. My mother, Mary, wasn't too keen on leaving our home in Pennsylvania to come west. But my little brother Thomas is excited about traveling and hopes we will see some Indians. My sister Susan is too little to think about much of anything. We left Independence 2 days ago, and already we're nearly 40 miles closer to California and the gold. Ma says we ought to settle a farm in Oregon, but Pa hankers for the gold. Guess there'll be plenty of time to decide before we get there. Right now, we worry most about the 15 or 20 miles we have to travel every day if we're to get across the mountains before the snows fall and block the trail. Every new day is exciting, and every new day begins. Each one has a job to do to help keep the train moving on schedule. My first job is to gather wood for the fire. Pa tends to the horses first thing, to get them ready for the long day ahead. While Ma makes us all happy, she gets breakfast. Ma cooks about the best bacon and fried dough I ever tasted. She keeps the little ones out of the way by sending them to the creek to get water for washing and for our tea. And then we have breakfast, and that makes this one of the best times of the day. Eating out in the open off of a tin plate and drinking from a tin cup seems to make things taste mighty good somehow. And Ma doesn't pester us much about table manners, but I reckon she'll change when we get us a home. Everybody gets excited when we load up the wagons. Every day seems like the beginning of a new trip. Everything we have in the world rides with us in the wagon, and by 7 o'clock, we're ready to roll. When we're traveling, my job is to look after the family in the wagon, while Pa scouts ahead with some of the men. When the going's easy, Thomas gets to drive the team, and this gives Ma a chance to rest a little and catch up on her knitting. Most of the time, Susan plays with her doll, Patches. Except when Pa gives her a special treat and lets her ride with him on the horse. When it gets near to noon, the wagon master gives the order to halt, and we stop to rest the horses and ourselves and to eat a little. We usually have dried beef and biscuits at noontime. The beef takes a lot of chewing, but it's a good excuse to rest for a spell. Then we're back on the trail to the west. Still 10 miles to go before we stop for the day. When the wagon master signals to stop and make camp, everybody's ready for the rest of the chores we have to do before nightfall. Pa takes the horses out to graze, while Ma and Susan take things out of the wagon to get ready for dinner. Thomas and I gather dried buffalo chips to burn on the campfire, and our chores are nearly done. Except that now we go to school. Along with the other kids of the wagon train, Mrs. Crawford teaches us to count and to read and write. Mrs. Crawford has been to school and knows about education. Everybody's interested in learning, I guess, but sometimes after a day of traveling, it's hard to keep your mind on it. We all like the part where Mrs. Crawford reads to us from the book, and I know everybody would like to be able to read from the book too, someday. Tonight we have a real treat. Pa has shot us a prairie chicken, and we have fresh meat for supper. It sure tastes good compared to dried beef. Sometimes there's dancing and singing after supper, but today has been long, and tonight most of us are ready for bed at sundown. Besides, some folks say bad weather's coming. Ma and Susan sleep inside the wagon where it's comfortable. That's where women folk belong, in the wagon. Father and Thomas and me sleep below on the ground. And during the night, the weather changes, sure enough, and the ruts of the trail fill up with mud and water. The rain keeps up for days, and it seems like we are wet and cold all the time. The rain and damp even gets inside the wagon, and there's no place that's dry. And always there's the mud and water that the wagons have to be pulled through. And always there's the wagons getting mired in. And people worrying about the time we're losing and how we've got to keep moving to get over the mountains in time. Hardship seems to make men strong enough to take care of the things nature throws up to slow us down or stop us. We are better than 2 weeks away from independence when our wagon master shows us an important landmark. It's the Platte River, and some folks say the Platte is a mile wide and an inch deep. We're going to follow it for more than a month. If it wasn't for Susan, everything would be fine with us. Susan got the chills during the long rains, and Ma thinks she's real sick. Ma points out interesting things to cheer her up, like the prairie dog village alongside our trail, and the little prairie dogs that seem to play hide and seek with us. The wagon train has to keep right on moving, no matter who's sick. We have to get over the mountains before the snows come. Every once in a while now, we see herds of buffalo, and this means we'll have plenty of fresh meat again. Pa says the buffalo is the meanest critter on the plains, but he makes good eating if you're hungry enough. Pa is one of the hunting party who go to shoot enough buffalo to keep us in meat a while. It takes a pretty good lick of time to skin out and clean the dead buffaloes, but Pa is an expert at it. Today we see our first Indians, and Ma about jumps out of her skin. I'll bet Ma would have run for the hills if she'd had the strength, but the Indians only wanted to trade with us. They have a fine-looking spotted Indian pony, and they're willing to trade it. I've always wanted a horse of my own, and I sure hope Pa can get this one for me. The Indians want tobacco, cloth, and beads, and we have brought these things with us just for trading. The Indians are curious about everything we have in the wagon, and they ask about our Susan, who is still very sick. When they learn there is sickness in our train, they leave in a hurry. I guess many of their people have died from sickness they have gotten from white people off the wagon trains, so it's no wonder they run from Susan. It's just a good thing for me Pa got them traded out of the spotted Indian pony before they left. Calico is about the finest horse I've ever seen, and I ride him bareback because I don't have a saddle. Riding is much better than walking, but every so often I have to get off for a spell, just to rest the horse. Day after day, our wagon train keeps rolling west. And every day, our little Susan seems more sickly. Of course, there's no doctor, and Ma just has to do the best she can. She watches Susan night and day and doesn't get much sleep. Ma does everything she can to help Susan. But I guess the gravestone we passed was a sign. For that night, God came and took Susan to heaven.
Dear Lord, we offer up the sweet soul of our little girl, Susan Daniels. May she be happy in thy kingdom for all the days to come.
Somehow, life on the trail seems harder now. Ma doesn't say much anymore, and she looks a lot older. Since Susan, 2 more people have died on the trail. And when we come to Chimney Rock in Indian country, I can't help but think of it as a big tombstone. Pa says it's close to 500 feet high, and that it's a real landmark on the Oregon Trail. We keep moving west. Now the sun burns into us like the heat from a grass fire, and the dust gets into everything. Seems like we're always hot, dirty, and thirsty. Water is scarce, and sometimes we can't drink the water we find because it's full of alkali, it's poison. And every day the signs of death get more common along the trail. In the eyes of many of the folks comes the look of fear and despair. Then we hit the Sweetwater River country, where there's plenty of good water. And people find out they haven't forgotten how to smile. And soon after that, Pa points out a landmark we'll never forget. Independence Rock that looks down on everybody who travels the Oregon Trail. Everybody tries to carve his name in the solid granite, so people will know he's been there. And we keep pushing on to the west as we pass Devil's Gate. And then we're in the sagebrush country. Sagebrush is about all you can see. Sagebrush and sun and dust. And the heat makes everything dance in front of our eyes. But all of a sudden, we have some excitement. It's a band of Crow Indians, and they're coming our way. The wagon master gives the signal to take cover. And all the wagons circle as quick as they can. An attack by Indians is what everybody's been afraid of since we left Independence. People are just plain scared of the Indians. Can we hold them off? Everybody wonders. We'll fight for our lives if the Indians go for us. I try to look brave, but secretly, I'm sure I'll be scalped. But we're lucky. The Crows decide to leave us alone. They must only have been hunting game, and our people feel relieved. That evening, the thankfulness just seems to well up in folks' souls. And that evening, my ma's sadness seems to slip away, and she comes back to us. She smiles, and it makes everything seem right again. Yes, sir, it begins to look like the year 1849 will turn out all right. We still have a long ways to go. Pa says we're only halfway there, and we may run into trouble. But from here on, the rivers all flow west to the Pacific Ocean. And pretty soon, we'll come to where the trail splits. One way to California, and the other way to Oregon. And Ma and Pa are still trying to decide which way to go. It's hard to know which. Will we look for gold or for farmland? And me? Well, either way's fine with me. I feel I'm nearly a grown man now, and I'm eager to get on into the new country and make a place for myself. Our wagon train will go on pushing into the west, and there are lots more trains behind us. I guess they'll just keep coming from now on. Someday there may be as many as 1 million people in the West Country, and someday there may be real roads across this land we've crossed on prairie trails.
Jim didn't realize that within 125 years, there would be tens of millions of people here, enjoying the heritage given them by the early settlers, people who suffered, fought, and died to give added meaning to the words democracy and freedom. Their dreams and their deeds laid the foundations for expanding our country into a mighty nation, stretching from ocean to ocean.
Oh, YouTube. So I tried to cancel and not show the pre-recorded show because I'm here live, but YouTube had other plans. As is the way YouTube tends to be. It's very frustrating. Anyways, so the reason why I pre-recorded the show is because I was scheduled for an MRI for my neck to see what is pinching the nerve that is causing issues with my arm and numbness and buzzing and mild pain and all that stuff. It's been 2 months of this, and not a fan. It's much better than it was, but I don't want to go through this again. This is the second time this has happened in 3 years, 4 years maybe. So yeah, I don't want to do this again. So what's funny is, I don't know if you've ever done an MRI. This was my first. So they put me in that kind of big beige donut, and I have a neck thing, and I have a cage, and they put headphones on me, and they're like, what music do you want to hear? And I was like, I don't know. I really... in that situation, I don't know. I was like, I don't know, classic rock. So, unfortunately, the first song was, what was it? Kansas, Carry On, Wayward Son. The second one was Boston's More Than a Feeling, and I was like, oh no. Arena Rock. And then the third one was the killer. It was the Eagles' Hotel California, which is a song that I absolutely do not like. That song is so tedious and so boring. I've heard it so many times. I'm done. Thankfully, the magnets started kicking in, and it was like, it was like being in a giant dot matrix printer, where the head is like going right near your head. And it was also causing this weird modulation of the song. So I could just barely hear the song, but it was like, I was like, this is awesome. And in hindsight, and I told the technician, I said, honestly, my musical tastes tend to more of the sound that the MRI is making than the Eagles. And she's like, really? I've never heard anybody say that. And I'm like, yeah. If I was caught in that tube and I was listening and I couldn't move and I was listening to Hotel California, that's like a ring of hell for me. Not a fan at all. Anyhow, so this is a film. So there's 2 streams going, and some of you are doing double duty. Well, this film is being shown on that one. So I can't apologize, but there you go. Enjoy.
During the summer of 1973, 3 astronauts, Alan Bean, Jack Lausma, and Dr. Owen Garriott, were launched into space, where they spent almost 2 months in the Skylab spacecraft, the world's first laboratory in space. The crew performed a variety of scientific experiments and demonstrations. The onboard scientist, officially designated a scientist pilot, was Dr. Owen Garriott, a former professor of electrical engineering and an astronaut since 1965. During the mission, Dr. Garriott conducted a number of demonstrations specifically for the use of science students. Back on Earth, Dr. Garriott discusses some of his Skylab experiences with high school students.
Skylab is perhaps the most unusual laboratory that you can imagine. Living in weightlessness meant that you didn't walk from point A to point B. Instead, you floated. And to do that, you simply pushed yourself off and drifted over to the spot that you were headed for. Now here you see some of our weightless gyrations that we went through during a little time we took away from our work schedule. Now this weightlessness also made it possible for us to conduct some science demonstrations that we simply couldn't do here on Earth because of the strong influence of gravity. Now one of our demonstrations involved the Earth's magnetic field, and this completely surrounds the Earth, making in effect the Earth itself a giant magnet. One of the many things that this field does is to protect us from dangerous solar particle radiation coming not only from the sun, but also from the outer reaches of our galaxy. Skylab moves through the steady magnetic field of the Earth, making almost 16 revolutions every 24 hours. As you see, Skylab's orientation with respect to the nearby magnetic field is constantly changing. The uniqueness of the Earth's magnetic field has led some to the conclusion that this field may have been a vital factor even in the development of life here on Earth. We also know that even minute changes in the Earth's magnetic field, both its strength and in its direction, can seriously interfere with some aircraft instruments and also ships' compasses. And this can lead to endangering lives when their navigation is performed by reference to the strength and direction of the Earth's magnetic field. This field also is basically related to the appearance of aurora, or northern and southern lights as we call them, and interacts with the solar wind also, which is a new discovery of our space age. Let's take a look at some of our TV footage and see a Skylab demonstration in which some of the effects of the Earth's magnetic field are demonstrated.
I'm sure most all of you, at least at one time or another in your past, have had the occasion to use a compass. It's, of course, made from just a little magnet, and the north end always points toward the North Pole, and you can use it to determine, for example, your way out of the woods or your way on a hike and that sort of thing. Well, perhaps many of you haven't ever thought about whether or not the Earth's field extends far out into space. For example, here we are up in Skylab, some 270 miles above the surface of the Earth, and indeed the Earth's magnetic field does extend out this far, and in fact a good deal further. But we can demonstrate that as well, and perhaps you would enjoy seeing such a demonstration. Here's a group of little magnets that I have. These are about 2 inches long and about 2/10 of an inch in diameter. And when we put these just floating out in midair, like I'm doing here, you can see that they take on a very definite orientation. For example, there is one. I've released it right out in the center now, and you can see it is settling down to a specific orientation. That's the direction in which the Earth's magnetic field is running here, right along parallel to this little bar magnet. And we can, of course, use this to determine the direction of the Earth's field right up here at the location Skylab is at. Now, as we travel around the Earth, if we could watch this for a longer period, we would see this little magnet make several rotations as we circle the Earth, because the direction of the Earth's magnetic field is changing. Now, here's another thing that we can do. You see, we must not get too close to it with another magnet, because when we do, the two of them interact, and they very much perturb and influence the other one. Now, let me just make a couple other little demonstrations here for you. First of all, we found, you see, that one magnet aligns very nicely with the Earth's field. And if you watch very carefully, you can see this dipole oscillate back and forth. And I'm removing all the other magnets so that they do not influence it. Now, perhaps you'd find interesting in one of your science classes to try to compute the period of that little compass. Or another way to do it, you can measure the period from this oscillation and compute the strength of the Earth's magnetic field right up here at the Skylab orbit. To do it, you'll need to know a little bit about this magnet, but you can estimate that approximately from the fact that it's a 2-inch long, 2-inch diameter magnet, and make a calculation to determine what the period of that oscillation should be. Now, here's another little question that might be appropriate for some of the younger members of our audience. Suppose I take two of these magnets and I put them together like this. Now, if I put these out here and let them float, you see they have almost no tendency at all to line up with the Earth's field. There's just a little bit remaining, but almost no tendency at all. And so perhaps you can explain that, or if you can't, you can ask your science teacher, and he or she can tell you why it is with two magnets like this, we seem to lose that tendency to line up with the Earth's field. Well, we saw the period of one oscillation a minute ago. Let me try it with two magnets, end to end like this. Now you see, they also oscillate. It's not like the two side by side. Two end to end will still oscillate. And maybe you can see that. And you can measure this period. And from that period, you could again calculate the Earth's field, or you can determine something about the inertias of these combination of two magnets. And I'll leave that for another calculation for your science class. Now we'll give you a close-up look at the oscillation of one magnet. Put it back in the center. And now we'll use two to oscillate. And you see the period of this oscillation is a good deal more slow when we have two of them together. And we can extend that even to three rods if we like. And there the period is very clear and can be measured rather accurately. Now if I put three side by side, we again see they'll have a different period. Well, they move a little too fast there. There we go.
Before resuming our Skylab demonstrations, I'd like to give you an opportunity to measure the period of the oscillations of the different combinations of magnets that we've just been looking at. Now, after you've measured these periods and the film is ended, your instructor will supply you with the other data that are needed to calculate either the moment of inertia or the strength of the Earth's magnetic field from our Skylab location up in space. Now, here's how I would suggest that you make the measurement of the period of these oscillations. This little pin that I'm going to show you here will represent the dipole that you've just seen, and in my other hand, I've got a stopwatch. And so the way I would measure that period is to wait until the dipole has tipped to one extreme of its motion and more or less stopped, ready to turn around, and at that point, start your stopwatch. And then measure at least one, or if there is time, perhaps two, or even three oscillations of the dipole, and then stop the stopwatch. Now, I've just simulated there, for example, measuring 3 of the oscillations, and my stopwatch reads 10.5 seconds. And so the period, dividing 10.5 by 3, gives us 3.5 seconds per oscillation of the dipole. And then you'll want to go back, of course, and measure that period for each of the various combinations of magnets that we've just been looking at. First, let's make a dry run. Start your stopwatch precisely when you see the dot and hear the tone. Count the oscillations. 1, 2, and then stop the watch when you see the dot again and hear the tone. Okay? Now we're going to repeat the footage for the single magnet so you can make that measurement. When you're through, write down the measurement on your paper, and then we can measure the period of the oscillations for 2 magnets. Now let's measure the period of 3 magnets side by side and write that number down. Then finally, we'll measure the period of the 3 magnets when they're placed end to end in a long single dipole. When you've completed that, we'll have 4 measurements recorded on our paper, and we'll use these measurements in our calculations when the film is ended. Now, in another demonstration, we will observe the effect of a magnet attached to a nut, similar to this one, that we caused to spin like a top in space. Now we're going to tape a little magnet to the nut, just like this. Use a little piece of gray tape, just the way we did on board the spacecraft. And we're going to observe the effect of this magnet on the spinning of the nut. Note that the polarity of this flat magnet is not along its long axis as it is with the little bar magnets. Instead, the north and south poles are located on the flat sides. What we'll see is, first of all, when we launch it in an orientation parallel to the Earth's magnetic field, that the spin is fairly stable.
You see, once again, it continues to spin pretty nearly stably about the direction in which it was launched.
But what happens if we allow the nut and the magnet to float freely in space? Let's take a look at the case in which the attached magnet has an orientation or a polarity in which its dipole is not in the same direction as that of the Earth's magnetic field.
But the next thing I want to show is when I tip these in a direction perpendicular to that. If it's not spinning, watch what it does. You see, it tips right over and turns parallel to the Earth's field so that its spin axis, or its axis through the disk, is oriented with the Earth's field just the way it was before. That's its normal tendency, is to tip right over and align its own dipole with the direction of the Earth's field. Now I'm going to spin it about this direction, and we'll see what its reaction is. All right, now it's more or less spin axis perpendicular to the Earth's field at this point. Now, we may have to watch it for just a minute here, but the thing that I want you to observe is the fact that its spin axis is tipping over in another direction. You see, now it's now tipped over to the point where it's almost facing the camera. And now it has. It's tipped about 90 degrees, but not toward the Earth's field, which is off to my right. Instead, it is tipped over towards the camera. Now, this is called precession. Now, we'll go back and check the Earth's field once more. We'll see whether or not it's changed. Take another of our little magnets. And it may have changed a little bit, but not a great deal in the time that we've been talking. But these magnets are already influencing each other, as you can see. And they'll align themselves just like that in the direction of the Earth's field.
Now, this concludes our demonstrations of magnetic effects in space. We've observed, first of all, the oscillations of various combinations of little bar magnets. And then next we've seen the precession of a spinning object, in this case a small gyroscope represented by this spinning nut with a magnet attached. After you've completed the suggested calculations, you will know that the Earth's magnetic field extends far out into space above the Earth, and you will have calculated its magnitude and observed its changing direction. We've also seen the very first demonstration of precession ever observed in this marvelous new laboratory that we call space. And in this laboratory, of course, gravitational forces no longer perturb our experiments. Perhaps your own curiosity and imagination will suggest even more sophisticated experiments to you, which can be demonstrated on later flights.
So you don't know how utterly frustrating it is for me to compete against myself in doing these streaming things. Yes, that film was shown on the other stream, which I had thought that I had made not visible, but maybe, I don't know what happened. YouTube, you're a mystery sometimes. But maybe this will make you feel better, but I doubt it.
There we are. Oh, I'm fixing this magnet. There. It's a magnet, see? It, now watch. I put it up there to hold my tools. See? Just like that. Well, they won't fall. No, they won't fall because it's a magnet. Well, you've seen the little magnet around, haven't you? Here, I'll show you the little magnet. See? Now, you look at that for a minute, and, I'll get some paper clips and show you how it'll pick them up. There. Now watch. See how it works? There. See how it works? Oh, you don't understand? Well, I have a big magnet, and I think that will be easier to see. Let's go look at the big magnet. All right. Well, wait for me. Wait for me. Yep. There we are. All right, now I think right down here would be a good place to show it to you. Well, you want to sit over there? All right. There. Now, need something smooth, so I'm going to put down this piece of cardboard. Now for the magnet. There we are. It's big, isn't it? Uh-huh. Oh, no, it doesn't look like the little one, but it works in the same way. Now, I'll get some odds and ends and show you. Yeah, there they are. Let's see if we can use any of the things in here. Oh, I think so. There's some metal things. You want to get a little closer? All right. Now, let's try, find something metal here. Let's try this. Now watch. Yeah. See? The magnet pulls it. Yep. See how? All right. Yeah, you can try. There. Go ahead. Nothing to hurt you. See? See how the magnet holds it? Yeah. All right. Well, we'll try some more things. Let's see. We'll try this bolt. Whoop. There we are. Oh, here's a big paper clip. Watch the magnet pull that. See? All right, now watch. Here's another bolt. See how the magnet holds that? All right, you can try it. Pull. See how the magnet holds it? Yeah. Well, Pirro, I have a little board that I want to do some sanding on, and you just go ahead and play with the magnet so I can get my sanding done. All right. Pirro, what's the trouble? Oh, you broken the magnet? Oh, I don't think you could break the magnet. Show me what you did. I don't think you broke. What? Oh, it wouldn't pull the pencil? Oh, well, Pirro, it's not broken. A magnet will never pull anything that's made out of wood. No. Now watch. See, it will still pull these metal things. Yes. It's pulling them because they're made of iron or steel. See, now you've learned something, Pirro. A magnet will only pull something that is made of iron or steel. See? These things are iron or steel. Oh, you didn't break the magnet. Well, huh? Oh, no, it won't pull a puppet. Just things that are made of iron or steel. Now, you go ahead. I have just a little more sanding to do here, and then I'll be with you. I need another piece of sandpaper here. I'll be done. I'll be finished in just a minute, Pirro. Getting it pretty smooth, Pirro. I won't be much longer. You're not getting in any trouble, are you, Pirro? That won't be long. What do you want? What? The magnet caught you? Oh, I don't think the magnet caught you. You go try it again. I have a little more sanding to do. There we are. What happened this time? The magnet caught you again? Oh, no, Pirro. I think you're just making it up. Here, you try it once more. I think you'll find that it didn't pull you. There we are. I have just a little more sanding to do. I'll be right with you. Pirro, what do you want this time? Oh, Pirro, what are you doing? Did you hurt yourself? Well, better get up. Oh, you can't? The magnet is holding you? Oh, no. Here. Well, it is holding you. Well, what? Well, it must be the nails in your shoes. Well, I can't believe it. I just can't believe it. Well, what are you doing now? Well, you want to show me something? All right. Pirro, be careful, Oh, look at that. Oh, that's how you reached way over. Well, I can't believe it.
I love me some Pirro. He's a little clown puppet, which I know some of you don't like clowns. I know that some of you don't like puppets, and I also know that some of you don't like the puppeteer that he is. He grates on a lot of people's nerves. So, yeah, sorry about that. Or am I? Man, what do I got laid out here? I don't want to duplicate what I'm already showing on the other show because some of you have already watched that. But, yeah, some of this, I don't know. Let me check this real quick. I know this is scintillating for you. I don't want to, I try not to duplicate. I went through, last night, instead of going to bed, at a reasonable hour, I went through all the last month of films that or shows that we did, and a couple of things I noticed. One, I was very good in not duplicating stuff, but two, I realized that we had already done our 1600th episode. We did that on it was a pre-recorded show when I was in Santa Fe. So, let's see. Okay, supposedly I haven't shown this, and I trust myself a little bit related to this. And so we are going to go from the world of space and magnets to Switzerland. Enjoy. So I don't know why that the file name was Switzerland, and I'm guessing it was probably written on the can. I don't know a whole lot about this film, but I'm digging it. I would have listened to this instead of the Eagles when I was in an MRI device today. But yeah, it is definitely of a time. Some of you called out, it was like a skateboarding film that I've shown or a surfing film that I've shown. It's definitely of that time where there's this soundtrack and then there's a collage or a montage of different things related to whatever sport or whatever thing. Yeah, there you go. You never know what you're going to watch on AV Geeks, and it could be something that you're actively watching two AV Geek streams at the same time. I wonder if I should do that one day. I mean, I don't know. It was obviously super confusing for everybody and super annoying for me, so I apologize for that. Who knows what YouTube is going to put me through now. I will say that things are looking pretty good. The copyright strike that was on my channel has been removed, and now I'm just trying to get my subscribers back because I lost probably 700 subscribers because they were like, Fox, Sports Live, what is this? And they got out. So I'm going to have to work hard to get everybody to come back. And certainly I will do that by alienating my viewers with little puppet marionette clowns and whacked out soundtrack collage pieces. Anyways, thanks for watching today. Tomorrow's gonna be pre-recorded because I'm gonna be driving to Wilmington, North Carolina, and going to be doing a workshop with film grad students there, where we're gonna make our own animations, and we're going to project them, and then we're gonna watch some films, we're gonna scan some films. It's gonna be a load of fun. And then I'll be driving back Thursday, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to put a show together and get it back in time. But Friday, I should be around. Who knows? Who knows? And maybe I'll schedule something and then forget to cancel it, and then hilarity will ensue, and we'll have 3 different streaming things at the same time. Anyways, love you guys. Thanks so much for your patience and watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take care.